Chapter 1749. Hit me. You will pay the price. In the previous attack, several celestial venerables were more or less injured. Lin Moyu relied on his talent to transfer all the damage to the Undead Legion. Many of the Undead Legion died, but he himself was not injured. He released the life force of the Undying Law to heal the injuries of the celestial venerables. Yu Chengfeng asked anxiously,
"What happened just now?"
Lin Moyu had no time to explain and suddenly looked into the distance.
"They are coming."
Not only did the celestial beast from the other shore attack them just now, but hundreds of starry void beasts also turned around and chased after them. The faces of the celestial venerables changed slightly, and one of them took out a brand new battleship. This battleship was slightly inferior to Yu Chengfeng's, but it was still at the celestial venerable level and not slow. Yu Chengfeng said,
"Let's go."
Lin Moyu said in a low voice,
"Wait for me."
As he spoke, he took out the soul-shooting bow, and a drop of myriad-colored water flew out and landed on the bow. At the same time, he injected all his soul power into it, condensing it into a purple soul arrow. Lin Moyu did not use his original spell, fearing some adverse reaction. With the presence of the myriad-colored water, it didn't matter whether he used his original spell or not. The difference was negligible. The myriad-colored water amplified his soul power by hundreds of times, making the purple soul arrow incredibly powerful. Lightning appeared on the purple soul arrow, and the space around it shattered and collapsed. Yu Chengfeng and the others were shocked by this scene. Yu Chengfeng felt that this soul arrow was enough to kill him. At the same time, he was shocked by Lin Moyu's extravagance. The myriad-colored water was extremely precious, and the fact that celestial venerables fought to the death for it was proof enough. Materials from the other shore realm, yet Lin Moyu used it just like that. Using the myriad-colored water to amplify his attack was indeed too extravagant. However, he also realized something else, and his heart trembled.
"Mr. Lin, you obtained that well."
In his shock, the arrow had already flown out. The purple soul arrow, carrying lightning, instantly pierced through space and disappeared without a trace. Lin Moyu didn't even look at the result and turned to board the battleship.
"Let's go."
This arrow was a gift to the celestial beast from the other shore. In the previous attack, his bone hell was broken. Although they were far apart, the bone hell still left a mark on the opponent. This arrow was aimed at that mark. Lin Moyu didn't know if his attack would be effective, but he had to try. He was not the type to take a beating without fighting back. Sometimes, when he couldn't fight back, he would remember it for later. When he could fight back, he would not hesitate. Just like the ancient Buddha's palm strike, Lin Moyu remembered it well and would visit the Buddha clan sooner or later. The battleship started, and the celestial venerables fully activated the battleship, flying into the distance. In the center of the dark void, in front of the head of the celestial beast, space suddenly shattered, and a purple light flew out, piercing its head. A sharp cry echoed through the starry void, and the beast's huge eyes showed pain, its body trembling uncontrollably. A few moments later, its eyes emitted a fierce light, reflecting Lin Moyu's image. Lin Moyu was shrouded in blood light, and the beast emitted a killing intent, seemingly wanting to settle the score with Lin Moyu. At this moment, the person sitting on its head said in a low voice,
"Focus on the task."
The beast trembled violently and finally calmed down. It did not dare to disobey this person's command. In the gushing grounds, many celestial venerables were injured or killed. The dead celestial venerables disappeared without a trace, leaving no trace in the starry void. They were all retrieved by Lin Moyu and revived in the soul world. Although he could summon them again, Lin Moyu didn't want to send the celestial venerables to their deaths. In the battle, many celestial venerables from various clans were also killed or injured. Originally, there were over 100 celestial venerables, but now there were less than 50 left. More than 20 celestial venerables had died, and more than 30 had left at the beginning of the battle. They had no enmity with Lin Moyu and did not want to offend the human race, so they left early. Suddenly, the remaining celestial venerables disappeared in large numbers, and in the blink of an eye, only a few were still fighting. Soon, these few celestial venerables were also killed and disappeared into the starry void. In the gushing grounds, only a few celestial venerables from the Demon Clan, the Golden Eagle Clan, and the Buddha Clan remained, along with a few scattered individuals.
What's going on? Why did they all leave? These puppets can be remotely retrieved? What kind of puppets are these? Not only are they numerous and powerful, but they can also be remotely retrieved. With these puppets, it won't be easy to kill Lin Moyu.
The celestial venerables whispered among themselves. Although the Demon Clan and the Golden Eagle Clan had been temporary allies, they were now wary of each other, as they had always been at odds and had deep-seated hatred. Of course, their hatred for the human race was even greater, as they were mortal enemies. In the Buddha Clan, several Buddhas had grim expressions. In the previous battle, 6 Buddhas had died. Compared to the Golden Eagle and Demon Clans, their losses were fewer, but they had only come with 7 people. The Great Golden Buddha was killed by Lin Moyu, and now 2 more had died, a heavy loss.
Amipa.
The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge chanted,
Collect the bodies of the 2 junior brothers and take them back to the Pure Land for burial.
He looked around, feeling a sense of unease, as if something bad was about to happen. He noticed the expressions of the other high-ranking celestial venerables, who were all frowning, seemingly sensing something was wrong. Celestial venerables had keen senses and could perceive danger, especially high-ranking celestial venerables, whose souls were stronger and their senses sharper. This sense of unease made the Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge want to leave immediately. But the eruption of the myriad-colored water was not over, and there were still several rounds to come. Leaving now would mean giving up the myriad-colored water. Should they stay or go? After collecting the bodies, the Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge made a decision and said in a low voice,
Let's go.
The other Buddhas were stunned.
We're not fighting for the myriad-colored water.
The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge shook his head.
No.
His sense of unease suddenly intensified, and his face changed dramatically.
Run!
At this moment, the other high-ranking celestial venerables also shouted,
Run!
The sense of unease reached its peak, far surpassing the feeling when facing the 10,000 celestial venerables. But it was too late. Shadows surrounded them from all directions. One by one, starry void beasts covered the sky, surrounding them completely. The terrifying aura shook the starry void. Space constantly twisted, and with the roars of the starry void beasts, space collapsed. Everyone's faces were extremely grim, knowing they were in big trouble. The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge's face was extremely dark.
Lin Moyu knew all along. That's why he left so decisively without looking back.
Now he finally understood why Lin Moyu left so decisively. Facing so many celestial venerable level starry void beasts, no matter how many puppets he had, it was useless. Among these starry void beasts, there were dozens of high-ranking ones. The Buddha of Forbidden Knowledge chanted again.
Junior brothers, follow me and break through.
He took out a string of prayer beads and threw them into the starry void.
I invoke the great sound ancient Buddha.
The other high-ranking celestial venerables also used their ultimate moves, desperately trying to break through. A more intense battle erupted. The same thing was happening in other gushing grounds. 1,750. Chapter 1750. Even the saint is not calm. Lin Moyu seemed to smell blood. In the dark void, under the black tide, many gods were about to bleed. Lin Moyu sighed slightly in his heart. Human strength has its limits. Unless he has reached the other side, he might still have a chance to save the gods of the human race in other places. But now he is just a god king with more heart than strength. Yu Chengfeng came to Lin Moyu's side, his expression also somewhat serious.
Considering the time, those star beasts should have arrived, right?
Lin Moyu said softly.
They should have arrived. Wish them good luck.
Besides blessings, they could do nothing. In other eruption sites, there were many gods of the human race, including Yu Chengfeng's friends. Yu Chengfeng's mood was even lower than Lin Moyu's at this moment. However, as a high-level god, Yu Chengfeng had a firm will and would not wallow in despair. He also knew that he was lucky this time to have encountered Lin Moyu. Otherwise, they too would have been besieged by the star beasts and probably would have died. In the end, it was Lin Moyu who saved them. Yu Chengfeng asked,
Mr. Lin must have gained something, right?
Lin Moyu did not deny.
Yes. Mr. Lin is powerful. Contact the ancestor immediately when we go back.
The two spoke cryptically, and apart from them, no one else could understand. The rules of the Yu family were strict, and although other gods were curious, they would not inquire. If you don't understand, then cultivate hard, and when you reach a higher realm, you will naturally understand. Madam, you often told them, if you want to know more, you must reach a higher realm. Otherwise, you will remain deaf and blind for a lifetime. The battleship was flying at the fastest speed in the starry sky, covering a distance of over 100 light-years in just 2 days, and they returned to the territory of the human race. Seeing the star domain teleportation array again, and feeling the majestic power of the Emperor's network, Yu Chengfeng immediately took out an array disk and activated it. The array disk guided more power from the Emperor's network, and at the same time, Madame Yu's figure was projected from the Jade disk. Madame Yu, through the projection, saw Lin Moyu and Yu Chengfeng and showed a hint of confusion.
Lin Xiaoyu, why did you come back so soon?
She had experienced the black tide and knew that it should not have ended yet. Now they returned early, something must have happened. Lin Moyu got straight to the point.
Greetings, Madame Yu. May I ask if Lord Hao is here?
This matter was too big. Talking to Madame Yu was not enough. He had to directly find Lord Hao. Madame Yu seemed to sense the seriousness from Lin Moyu's tone and immediately said,
I will contact Lord Hao right away. Stay here and don't move. Lord Hao will be here shortly.
The battleship stopped and remained motionless in the starry sky. This was the territory of the human race, and the star domain teleportation array was not far away. It was very safe here. They waited only a minute, but Lord Hao didn't arrive. Instead, the star beasts that had been chasing them did. For a moment, alarms blared, and lightning flashed and thundered in the sky. Powerful battleships from all directions rushed towards the star beasts to attack. At the same time, many gods flew out from the stars and attacked. The actions of the human race were swift, not giving the star beasts any chance to get close. Yu Chengfeng said,
Leave this to Mr. Lin. We will go out to kill the enemy. Okay.
The 7 gods of the Yu family simultaneously left the battleship, leaving only Lin Moyu inside, unmoving. The star beasts, tainted by the power of darkness, had long lost their sanity. Their orders were to destroy this battleship and kill everyone inside. They didn't care if they intruded into the territory of the human race. The human battleships simultaneously launched attacks, lightning-fast strikes causing the star beasts to scream in pain. The defending forces here numbered over 1 million, with over 100 god-level battleships. These were not the small god-level ships used for travel, but giant battleships with real god-level combat power. Each battleship, fully armed, could match a god. Moreover, there were over 100 gods here, with more than 10 high-level gods. Dealing with these star beasts was no problem. The battle was fierce, and Lin Moyu waited quietly inside the battleship. In the projection of the array, Madame Yu appeared again.
Lin Xiaoyu, Lord Hao is on his way. He should arrive soon. What exactly happened this time?
Lin Moyu said,
I'll explain when the saint arrives. This time, our human race might lose some gods.
For any race, gods were precious. Occasionally losing 1 or 2 was not a big problem. For a powerful race like the human race, even losing a dozen gods wouldn't be devastating. But Lin Moyu said they might lose some gods, indicating a significant number. Madame Yu said gravely,
It seems very serious. Is there a mutation in the dark void? Yes, a mutation indeed occurred, and it could be considered a premeditated one. Do you know about the dark blood realm?
Madame Yu trembled. Her previously calm face suddenly lost its color.
Sure enough, you know.
From Madame Yu's reaction, Lin Moyu guessed that she indeed knew about the dark blood realm. How much she knew was unclear. She probably didn't know as much as Lord Hao, who had said that some things could only be accessed upon reaching the level of a saint. So he directly sought Lord Hao this time. Madame Yu's expression became extremely serious. It seems. This matter is indeed significant. Explain in detail when the saint arrives. In the starry sky, the battle continued. The number of star beasts was considerable, but the human race was equally powerful. Gradually, the tide of battle was shifting towards the human race, and victory was only a matter of time. 5 minutes later, space outside the battleship twisted, and a figure appeared out of thin air. Lord Hao had arrived, but it was not his main body, just an avatar. His main body was still in the Divine City and couldn't arrive so quickly. Lord Hao had avatars in various star domains of the human race. Unless it was a matter of utmost importance, the avatars were sufficient to handle the situation. Lin Moyu greeted Lord Hao.
Greetings, Lord Hao.
Lord Hao nodded.
Speak, what happened?
Lin Moyu said,
You should know that the dark power in the dark void actually comes from the dark blood realm, right?
Even Madame Yu knew about it, so naturally, Lord Hao did too. Lin Moyu continued,
The dark blood realm invaded in ancient times, and there are survivors among them. What?
Lord Hao was visibly shocked. On the other end of the array, Madame Yu was once again aghast. Survivors from ancient times, living until now, how powerful must they be? This time, even Lord Hao couldn't remain calm.
Explain in detail.
Lin Moyu quickly recounted what he had seen. After listening, Lord Hao didn't respond immediately but said,
I will deal with those creatures outside first.
Saying this, he flashed into the battlefield. A vast power swept out, and Lin Moyu sensed the force of rules, faintly seeing an ancient rune. One by one, the star beasts exploded and died. The saint's action, even if it was just an avatar, effortlessly resolved the battle. Lin Moyu witnessed the vast gap between a god and a being from the other shore. It was terrifyingly immense. Lord Hao returned to the battleship.
Follow me.
1751, 1751. Chapter 1751. There are differences even among saints. Saint Hao was flying rapidly through the starry sky with Lin Moyu. The speed of the saint was incredibly fast. Even just a clone's speed was absurdly quick. In almost the blink of an eye, they had traveled over 10 light years, rushing into the dark void. The power of darkness seemed to have no effect on the saint, as he could still see the distant world. Saint Hao asked,
How did you discover him at that time?
Lin Moyu naturally knew who Saint Hao was referring to and immediately took out a drop of myriad-colored water.
Divide it into two and drop it into your eyes. Extravagant.
Saint Hao lightly snorted but still took the myriad-colored water, divided it into two, and dropped it into his left and right eyes. After the myriad-colored water was dropped in, 2 beams of light shot out from Saint Hao's eyes. The beams of light contained myriad colors, breaking through the dark void and reaching infinitely far places. One of the effects of the myriad-colored water is amplification. Can amplify anything. Whether it is laws, rules, soul power, runes, eyesight, or physical strength, it can be amplified. The amplification is very large, often by hundreds or thousands of times. The specific amplification varies from person to person. This is similar to the power of belief, but the power of belief can be infinitely amplified as long as the quantity is sufficient, which is not possible with the myriad-colored water. However, the power of belief can only amplify attack and defense, not eyesight. Overall, each has its advantages and disadvantages and different uses. With the help of the myriad-colored water, Saint Hao finally saw the scene in the center of the dark void. However, at this moment, the center of the dark void had already changed. Saint Hao's expression also became solemn.
This guy is devouring blood.
Upon hearing this, Lin Moyu took out another drop of myriad-colored water and directly threw it into his eyes. The next second, he also saw it. In the center of the dark void, it was still that giant beast. It remained motionless from the beginning until now. it had not changed its position. The ancient invader sitting on its head also remained motionless. But the surroundings had changed. They were now enveloped in a blood-red hue. Countless blood was flying from all directions in the void, turning into bloodlines and entering the body of the ancient invader. The ancient invader's body was covered with bloodlines, looking somewhat creepy. Lin Moyu saw that he was absorbing the power within the bloodlines.
If I'm not mistaken, he should be injured and is currently healing.
Lin Moyu expressed his opinion. Saint Hao responded with a hum and said nothing, still observing. At this moment, Lin Moyu looked at the other gushing grounds and couldn't help but snort. Each gushing ground was filled with a large number of corpses. These were the corpses of saints. The bodies of saints from various races had been smashed into pulp, all their blood drained and absorbed by the ancient invader. However, there were not many human saint corpses among them. If it was just one gushing ground, it wouldn't be strange. But if every gushing ground was like this, then something was wrong. Lin Moyu couldn't help but show a strange expression.
Did our saints all escape? What do you think?
Suddenly, a voice came, and Lin Moyu turned sharply, seeing a burly man standing only 100 meters away from him. Lin Moyu was shocked. Someone was so close to him, and he didn't even know. This person's strength was terrifying. Saint Hao said in a low voice,
He is Old Sha, one of the human saints.
No wonder. Lin Moyu saluted Saint Sha.
Junior greets Saint Sha.
Saint Sha waved his hand.
No need to be so polite, just speak directly in the future. I don't like formalities. I saved most of the saints in the gushing grounds. A few died. They were just unlucky.
His voice was loud and heavy, giving an invisible sense of oppression.
A saint is indeed a saint, to be able to save everyone from such a distance in such a short time.
Lin Moyu sighed in his heart. The power of a saint far exceeded his imagination. Saint Hao said slowly,
This guy controls the shadow rules. In the dark void, his speed is comparable to space rules.
Lin Moyu suddenly understood. It was the shadow rules. The shadow rules originated from the shadow laws which the shadow race excelled at. The shadow race could hide in the darkness, becoming assassins feared by all races, thanks to the shadow laws. Unexpectedly, there was also a human who mastered the shadow laws and had reached the level of a saint, elevating the laws to rules. The dark void was filled with darkness and shadow rules. It was indeed Saint Sha's paradise. Saint Sha grinned, showing his white teeth, looking somewhat creepy in the darkness.
You kid are something. Killing the great golden Buddha before, almost killing the diamond Buddha, very impressive. When snatching the myriad-colored water, you killed the demon race and shadow demon saints without hesitation. Very decisive, I like it. But relying on puppets isn't a long-term solution. Your own strength is also important. You can't always rely on puppets.
Saint Sha kept talking, first praising Lin Moyu without reservation, then pointing out his shortcomings. Lin Moyu found this straightforward personality quite likable. Just as Lin Moyu was about to explain, another voice came from the darkness.
The skeletons are not Lin's puppets. They are his summoning spells.
This time, Saint Sha was shocked. His eyes widened, mouth agape, but it didn't seem exaggerated at all. Lin Moyu didn't look at Saint Sha, but at the dark void. There, another Saint Hao was coming, along with a person glowing with golden light, like a shining star. The two Saint Haos merged into one. The main body of Saint Hao had arrived, and the clone naturally merged with the main body. Now, Saint Hao was a true saint, able to fully exert the power of a saint. Saint Hao introduced to Lin Moyu.
This is Saint Tian, also the Lord of the Divine City.
The name of the Lord of the Divine City was something Lin Moyu had heard countless times. He was the most revered figure among countless humans. Almost no human didn't know of the Lord of the Divine City, and everyone's dream was to enter the Divine City. If asked who they most wanted to meet after entering the Divine City, 9 out of 10 would answer the Lord of the Divine City. The Lord of the Divine City represented the highest, strongest, and most mysterious among humans. Lin Moyu, not being from the great world, was not as influenced by it, so he didn't show much emotion. If it were anyone from the great world, even a saint, they would be extremely excited at this moment. Lin Moyu saluted Saint Tian.
Junior greets Saint Tian.
Before Saint Tian could speak, Saint Sha had already said,
There you go again. Why be so polite with this big light bulb?
Saint Tian looked at Saint Sha with a half-smile.
Old Sha, are you itching for a fight?
Saint Sha laughed.
What, want to hit me? Don't forget where we are. I'm not afraid of you here.
Saint Tian chuckled and said nothing. Lin Moyu could clearly feel that Saint Sha's words were somewhat lacking in confidence. Obviously, this guy couldn't beat Saint Tian. There are differences even among saints. Saint Hao finally withdrew his gaze.
That guy should be seriously injured. His strength is less than 1/10. Now is the best time to catch him.
1752, 1752. Chapter 1752. There is plenty of myriad-colored water. When it came to serious matters, even the killing saint became serious. Lin Moyu said,
He has lived from ancient times to the present, so he must have surpassed the other shore. Even if he is severely injured and his strength is only 1/10, we still need to be careful.
The heavenly saint said,
We should prepare the myriad-colored water. As long as we resolve the battle quickly, there shouldn't be any problems.
The house saint pondered.
If we could wait a few more years until the talisman saint's realm stabilizes and he can create ancient talismans, it would be more secure.
The killing saint shook his head slightly.
We can't wait. This time, he has already recovered a bit of his strength by absorbing the blood of the gods. If we wait a few more years and his strength recovers a bit more, it will be difficult for us to deal with him. The guys from the Black Blood Great Realm have many secret techniques. Even if we can't defeat him, if he wants to escape, it will be hard for us to handle him. Here, I can still restrain him. If he leaves the Dark Void, I'm afraid I won't be able to suppress him. If he goes crazy and breaks into the human territory to devour human blood, it will be a big problem.
The killing saint analyzed the situation thoroughly. The house saint sighed.
All right then, I have 30 drops of myriad-colored water here. We each get 10 drops. I hope it's enough.
The house saint took out 3 bottles, each containing 10 drops of myriad-colored water. However, he seemed a bit pained as he did so. Lin Moyu had never seen the house saint with such an expression before. The saint had all kinds of treasures, yet he was pained by the myriad-colored water. Every time the black tide appeared, the human race could obtain at least 20 drops of myriad-colored water. Over the years, they should have accumulated quite a bit. It seemed that the myriad-colored water was constantly being consumed. Otherwise, the house saint wouldn't have shown such an expression. Lin Moyu interjected.
3 saints, I actually have some myriad-colored water.
The 3 of them looked at Lin Moyu simultaneously, their eyes widening. Their expressions were all exaggerated, especially the killing saint. The killing saint, with his exaggerated expression, muttered,
You really got this stuff? I thought you just got a bit of myriad-colored water when you went in.
The house saint's gaze was complicated.
How did you do it? That water dragon is not easy to deal with.
Lin Moyu held the ancient well of ancestral water with one hand.
It was all right, I took it down.
The heavenly saint looked at Lin Moyu with admiration.
What we couldn't do when we were young, you managed to do. Impressive, really impressive.
Lin Moyu pushed the ancient well of ancestral water towards them.
With this, we won't have to worry about running out of myriad-colored water. It can condense 1 drop of myriad-colored water every 10 days.
1 drop every 10 days means more than 30 drops a year. Previously, they had to wait for the black tide, and the income of myriad-colored water was very unstable. Now it had become a stable income. Over time, the difference would be significant. The 3 saints looked at each other, but none of them took the ancient well of ancestral water. The house saint said,
This well is yours, we can't take it. Just give us some of the myriad-colored water.
Lin Moyu could see that the saints really needed the myriad-colored water. But they still didn't want to take his ancient well of ancestral water. This kind of integrity was worthy of their status as saints. Although it was Lin Moyu's first time meeting the Killing Saint and the Heavenly Saint, he felt a sense of familiarity. Especially the way they looked at him, like elders looking at a younger generation, reminded him of Bai Yuan and others. Back then, Bai Yuan and others also treated him with sincerity. When people treat you sincerely, you should also repay them with sincerity. Lin Moyu took out a second ancient well of ancestral water.
Please take this, I have another one.
The three of them widened their eyes again, and the Killing Saint's voice trembled.
What kind of monster are you? Why do you have another one?
Lin Moyu said,
I could have taken a few more, but I didn't have enough time. If I hadn't left then, I might not have been able to leave.
The Killing Saint said,
I was there, how could you not leave?
The House Saint and the Heavenly Saint looked at him like he was an idiot. You were there, but you didn't say anything, how would others know? If you had said something earlier, Lin Moyu might have been able to take a few more wells. Then, the human race would have an endless supply of myriad-colored water. Their eyes seemed to say,
It's all your fault. Why didn't you speak up earlier?
The Killing Saint looked aggrieved and regretful.
If I had known, I would have spoken up earlier.
The House Saint didn't hesitate.
Since that's the case, we won't be polite.
He reached out and took the ancient well of ancestral water. Lin Moyu also removed his soul imprint, and the House Saint imprinted it with his own soul. During this process, the House Saint's body trembled slightly, and his eyes closed tightly. An invisible pressure of the saint spread through the starry sky. It lasted for a full minute before dissipating. The House Saint successfully dealt with the myriad-colored water dragon. This ancient well of ancestral water now belonged to the House Saint and the human race. Lin Moyu was puzzled.
Saint, the myriad-colored water dragon is not easy to deal with, but it doesn't pose a threat to saints. Why didn't you go for the well?
The Killing Saint answered quickly.
We wanted to, but beings at the other shore realm can't enter the deep space unless they control the space rules. The deep space can't support the power of saints. If we force our way in, it will cause a space collapse. At that time, even we would be trapped in chaos, with uncertain life and death.
The Heavenly Saint added,
The gods are the limit for entering the deep space, and they also need to master the space laws or use tools that utilize the space laws. But gods find it difficult to deal with the myriad-colored water dragon. We tried when we were young, but we all failed. The best attempt only got us a few dozen drops of myriad-colored water.
Lin Moyu recalled his battle with the myriad-colored water dragon and found it to be true. With his soul at the other shore realm and the soul shooting bow, it was still difficult to fight the myriad-colored water dragon. Ordinary gods would be lucky to survive. If it weren't for the Scourge Scepter, he would have been in big trouble. So obtaining the ancient well of ancestral water was indeed extremely difficult. Over countless years, no one from any race had obtained the ancient well of ancestral water. Lin Moyu thought to himself that the next time the black tide appeared, he could enter the deep space again and take a few more ancient wells of ancestral water. Such good things could never be too many. The House Saint took out several jade bottles and operated the ancient well of ancestral water to extract the myriad-colored water. This time, he was not stingy at all, giving 100 drops in each bottle, truly a generous amount. One ancient well contained 10,000 drops of myriad-colored water, enough to last a long time, and it could replenish one drop every 10 days. With enough myriad-colored water, the Killing Saint was full of momentum.
Let's go, let's fight.
The House Saint looked at Lin Moyu.
Do you want to come? It might be a bit dangerous when we fight.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
I also want to see the battle between saints.
The Heavenly Saint chuckled.
No problem, I'll protect you.
The Killing Saint laughed loudly.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
He waved his hand, releasing a mass of dark energy that enveloped the four of them, and they instantly disappeared into the darkness. 1753, 1753. Chapter 1753, Virtual realm rules, golden rules. The shadow rules have unimaginable uses in the darkness. Lin Moyu and the others were enveloped by the power of the shadow rules, moving silently and at an astonishing speed. Lin Moyu couldn't understand this way of moving for a moment, only feeling that the whole world had become very close. It felt as if he wasn't moving, but the distant world was actively approaching him. It was like wanting to get something 100 meters away, but instead of moving, the thing and the 100 meters of ground came to him. It wasn't the space rules, but it worked seamlessly in the dark world. The killing saint laughed.
My shadow rules are pretty good, right? Darkness is my domain. Even those Shadow Clan guys have to kneel and call me daddy when they see me.
Lin Moyu could only agree, though he didn't really understand. The house saint said,
Rules are actually the sublimation of laws. When you reach the high-level God realm, you can feel them from the Lost Star River. Remember, the Lost Star River is very important, and there are no shortcuts. Any shortcut is trading your future. Throughout history, everyone who took shortcuts at the Lost Star River step couldn't reach the other shore. The most recent example is Dongfang Zhe from the 4-star domain competition. His path is cut off, and his highest realm in this life will be the 6th level of the God realm, unable to reach the 7th level.
Lin Moyu was shocked. Dongfang Zhe had cut off his own path, which he hadn't expected. No wonder Elder Lin had such a bad attitude towards him at that time. It seemed Elder Lin had already seen that Dongfang Zhe had no future. Dongfang Zhe could have become a god, but he forcibly interrupted the baptism of the Lost Star River, keeping himself at the minor god realm. It was like picking up sesame seeds and losing a watermelon, sacrificing the big for the small. Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
I won't do such a foolish thing.
The heavenly saint said slowly,
Cultivation has always been a step-by-step process. Only by solidifying each step can you go higher and further.
Lin Moyu listened to the experiences of the saints and remembered them well. The killing saint's speed was incredibly fast, not slower than the space rules. In just an hour, they had reached the center of the dark void.
We're here.
The killing saint stopped.
We can't get any closer, or it will sense us.
At this moment, they were still 1,000,000 kilometers away from the ancient invader. 1,000,000 kilometers was just a step away for the saints. Here, Lin Moyu could already see the ancient invader and the giant beast at its feet. The heavenly saint's body shone with golden light, and a light ball appeared in his hand. The light ball was like a small star, hot and glowing. The light ball gradually dimmed after leaving the heavenly saint, eventually turning into a small golden ball.
Take this, it will keep you safe.
The heavenly saint was very confident. Lin Moyu took the golden ball.
Be careful, seniors.
The house saint responded with a hum.
I'll go first.
As he spoke, he crushed a drop of myriad-colored water, merging it with his right palm. Lin Moyu saw an ancient symbol appear on his right palm. In the next step, the house saint took a step forward, appearing in front of the ancient invader as if teleporting. He struck with his palm, and the ancient symbol shone brightly. Lin Moyu felt the entire dark void tremble, and the rules of the vast starry sky changed. With his soul eye, Lin Moyu saw all the law lines in that area break. The area covered by the ancient symbol had become a world of rules.
What rules does the house saint control?
Lin Moyu murmured. Although he had been with the house saint for a long time, he never knew what rules the house saint controlled. As if hearing Lin Moyu's words, the heavenly saint smiled.
He controls the virtual realm rules.
Virtual realm rules? Lin Moyu's memory churned, and he immediately thought of a type of law. Virtual realm laws. One of the first-tier laws, a rare and peculiar law. There was very little information about the virtual realm laws, and Lin Moyu didn't know the details. But being in the first tier, the virtual realm laws must be strong. The house saint comprehended the virtual realm laws, and upon reaching the other shore, the virtual realm laws sublimated into virtual realm rules, making him incredibly powerful. The ancient symbol descended mightily, dispersing other laws. The ancient invader didn't move, either stunned or unable to move. However, the giant beast at its feet moved. The beast roared, its massive body trembling, and its eyes shot out two red beams directly at the ancient symbol. The ancient symbol shone brightly, confronting the red beams for half a second before shattering them and continuing to descend. The beast's tail suddenly lashed out, sweeping across the starry sky and striking the ancient symbol. Lin Moyu clearly saw dense black energy on its tail. This strike contained extremely powerful dark energy. The ancient symbol and the tail collided, shattering the space on the spot. Space turbulence raged in the starry sky, and the beast's tail shattered, bleeding profusely, revealing bones and flesh. But the ancient symbol also shattered in the collision. The house saint raised his left palm and struck again.
Virtual realm, open!
Lin Moyu felt a buzzing in his head, momentarily losing his senses. This state lasted for half a second before he recovered. He then saw the beast's eyes become dull, the red light dimming, as if it had fallen asleep. The heavenly saint explained,
The house saint dragged it into the virtual realm. It seems to be here, but it's actually detached from reality.
The ancient invader, who had been sitting on the beast, finally moved, slowly opening his blood-red eyes. As he opened his eyes, a strong smell of blood filled the starry sky, and the dark power surged. The sword in his hand flew up on its own, slashing towards the house saint. A blood-red sword energy cut through the starry sky, shattering the space. From all directions, countless dark forces pressed towards the house saint.
It's my turn!
The heavenly saint snorted, stepping forward and instantly arriving beside the house saint. His whole body shone with golden light, but the light didn't spread out, instead concentrating in front of him. The golden light turned into a large golden shield, blocking the blood-red sword energy. The golden shield and the blood-red sword energy clashed, producing a violent roar. The sound turned into substance, and the sword energy was instantly reflected back. The ancient invader swung his sword again, canceling out the reflected sword energy. At this moment, a shadow appeared beside him, and a seven-headed spear silently pierced his body. The killing saint moved, manipulating the shadow rules, his actions silent. For assassination, he was even stronger than the Shadow Clan. The seven-headed spear pierced the ancient invader's body but could only go an inch further. The killing saint shouted, and the power of the rules exploded. In the violent explosion, the killing saint retreated, disappearing instantly. A fist-sized hole was blown open at the wound from the seven-headed spear. Blood-red lines emerged, filling the hole instantly, and in the blink of an eye, the hole disappeared, and the wound healed. At this moment, the golden shield pressed down from the sky, shining brightly, illuminating the void. The dark power dissipated under the golden light. The golden shield crushed the space and the dark power, seemingly about to crush the ancient invader as well. Seeing this, Lin Moyu suddenly thought of another law.
The Golden Law.
1754, 1754. Chapter 1754. Saint versus Ancient Invader. The Golden Rule also belongs to the first tier. Lin Moyu thought to himself,
As expected, he is severely injured, with only 1/10 of his strength remaining.
He knew that the realm of the ancient invader was actually higher than that of the three saints. However, due to his severe injuries, he could only be on par with the saints now. Space twisted, and the killing saint reappeared. This time, his target was the other shore realm beast. The seven-headed spear struck out, each head glowing with various colors, clearly enhanced by the myriad-colored water. The other shore realm beast, dragged into the virtual realm, had no reaction and was directly pierced by the seven-headed spear. The shadow rules, combined with the amplification from the myriad-colored water, made the attack incredibly powerful. Moreover, Lin Moyu sensed the power of belief, which provided a second amplification. With a loud explosion, the other shore realm beast was blown apart, its body shattered into pieces. However, the killing saint did not stop there. He took out another drop of myriad-colored water and enhanced the seven-headed spear again. He appeared below the beast's head and stabbed it. Boom! The beast's head exploded on the spot. The house saint snorted lightly, and the starry sky trembled again, as if the virtual and real worlds overlapped. The virtual realm disappeared, and the beast returned. But the returning beast had no body left. Lin Moyu saw a lonely soul, lost and confused in the starry sky. The killing saint had been waiting for this moment, and the seven-headed spear pierced the soul. The other shore realm beast was completely dead. The starry sky was filled with the beast's flesh and blood. The beast was so huge that its flesh and blood could fill half a star. Without his mount, the ancient invader finally stood up. He spread his hands and clenched them tightly. In an instant, all the flesh and blood withered, and the blood turned into bloodlines, flying into his body. His previously dry body became full again, and his aura surged. The three saints' eyes flickered, realizing that something was wrong. The ancient invader looked at the three saints with his blood-red eyes, shaking his head slowly.
3 of you came, more than I expected. The blood and energy of the gods are too little, but the saints are not bad. By devouring the 3 of you, my power can be restored to 1/10. Your world should not have a supreme, right?
His voice was filled with cruelty and cunning, looking at the three saints like a hunter looking at his prey. As for Lin Moyu, he was completely ignored. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. This guy was a supreme, and everything he did was to attract the saints. What he truly wanted to devour was not the blood and flesh of the gods, but that of the other shore realm and the saints. The next second, Lin Moyu realized something was wrong. The ancient invader seemed strong but was actually weak. A skeleton appeared beside Lin Moyu, and he switched to the undead vision.
Sure enough, his soul is more than 2/3 damaged. Now he is actually at the end of his strength and won't last long.
Through the undead eye, Lin Moyu saw the ancient invader's soul. His soul was severely damaged, full of holes, and only a remnant remained. Moreover, his remnant soul was still deteriorating. Lin Moyu was shocked.
His soul injury is worsening, so he had to come out. If he can heal his injury soon, he will die. I don't know what method he used to survive from ancient times to the present, but he has finally reached his limit.
At this moment, the three saints' faces were also not looking good. They could feel the opponent's power more deeply than Lin Moyu. Although they were all using rules, the opponent's power level was clearly higher than theirs. They now knew they had been tricked. No matter how much godly flesh and blood there was, it was not enough to restore a supreme's former strength. What the opponent truly needed was the blood and flesh of the other shore realm and the saints. At this moment, Lin Moyu's voice came.
He is deceiving you. His soul injury is severe and worsening. He won't last long.
The three saints heard Lin Moyu's voice, exchanged glances, and the house saint shouted,
Attack!
The ancient invader looked at Lin Moyu angrily and snorted heavily. An invisible force swept through the starry sky, but Lin Moyu was not flustered. The bone hell opened instantly, blocking in front of him. The bone hell collapsed without suspense, but the golden ball in Lin Moyu's hand shone brightly, forming a golden light that firmly protected him. Lin Moyu smiled. His goal was achieved. The bone hell was attacked, marking the ancient invader. The starry sky was filled with the remains of the other shore realm beast. Although the flesh and blood had disappeared, the remains were still there.
Virtual realm, open!
The sound of the heavens echoed again, and the ancient invader was momentarily lost. The virtual realm rules surged, trying to pull his soul into the virtual realm. In the undead vision, Lin Moyu clearly saw his soul being pulled, almost breaking. The house saint's attack was like pouring salt on his wound. The ancient invader cried out in pain, his whole body covered in blood, and countless bloodlines emerged from his soul. The bloodlines formed a blood robe, covering his soul, preventing it from entering the virtual realm. A golden sword appeared above the heavenly saint's head, shining with golden flames, setting the entire starry sky ablaze with golden fire.
This sword is a treasure of the other shore realm.
Lin Moyu saw that the sword the heavenly saint had summoned was extraordinarily powerful. At the same time, 5 drops of myriad-colored water flew out, merging into the golden sword. The power of belief followed, making the golden sword even more dazzling.
Slash!
The voice echoed through the starry sky, and the sword's momentum fell, shattering the star river and collapsing the rules. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers of the starry sky were completely destroyed at this moment. This sword was too powerful. The ancient invader was engulfed in flames, unable to move, and had to endure the sword. He also swung his long sword, and a dense blood-red light shot up, clashing with the golden sword. With a loud explosion, Lin Moyu was knocked back by the terrifying force, temporarily deafened, unable to hear anything. The world had turned golden. If it weren't for the golden ball protecting him, Lin Moyu knew he would have died. Even with the talent to resurrect, it would be useless, as he would die again instantly, able to die many times. The skeleton beside him was the best example, dying instantly, resurrecting, and dying again. A scream echoed, the voice of the ancient invader. The golden world disappeared, and vision returned. Lin Moyu saw the killing saint's 7-headed spear had pierced the opponent's neck. The 7-headed spear glowed with myriad colors, enhanced by the myriad-colored water, making it incredibly sharp.
Did you really think I couldn't pierce you? Explode!
The killing saint roared, and the shadow rules exploded. But this time, it didn't shatter the ancient invader's body. Countless bloodlines surged up, entangling the 7-headed spear.
Old Shah, retreat quickly!
The house saint shouted urgently. In the next moment, the killing saint disappeared without a trace, abandoning the 7-headed spear. The 7-headed spear was now covered in blood-red lines, quickly melting. If he had been a moment later, the blood lines would have entangled him. The house saint pressed down with his right palm, and the ancient symbol shone brightly, suppressing down. 1755 1755. Chapter 1755. Bluffing, falling right into the trap. This battle was the most thrilling one Lin Moyu had ever experienced. Compared to this, all previous battles seemed like child's play. The 3 saints used all their means, shattering the starry sky and obliterating the laws. The power of the rules swept across millions of miles of the starry sky, turning everything in it to dust. Lin Moyu barely managed to watch the battle with the golden ball given by the heavenly saint. The house saint, who mastered the virtual realm rules, repeatedly tried to drag the ancient invader into the virtual realm. Although he never succeeded, he caused great distress to the invader's soul, severely disrupting his actions. The heavenly saint's golden rules were extremely fierce. A golden sword of the other shore realm slashed through stars and shattered the universe, posing the greatest threat to the ancient invader. The killing saint was elusive, seemingly having an endless supply of 7-headed spears, using one after another. Each strike caused damage, but the damage was not significant enough. The starry sky had been completely destroyed, collapsing again and again, with energy turbulence everywhere. The ancient invader manipulated the bloodline energy, fighting fiercely with the 3 saints. Although he seemed to be at a slight disadvantage, truly defeating him was not easy. The bloodline energy from the Black Blood Great Realm was extremely strange and elusive. With the long sword in his hand, he could even cut through the rules. Moreover, the ancient invader's physical body was terrifyingly strong. If the killing saint didn't use the myriad-colored water, the 7-headed spear wouldn't even be able to pierce his body.
His physical body is strong, and his power is strange. The strong ones from the Black Blood Great Realm are indeed terrifying. In the past, it took supreme beings to deal with such strong ones, but now, there are no supremes in the Great World. If he recovers, the Great World will be in trouble.
Lin Moyu had already seen that the power of the Black Blood Great Realm was incompatible with the Great World. The strong ones from the Black Blood Great Realm could devour the blood and flesh of living beings to recover and enhance themselves. Such an existence could not be allowed to live. The saints did not want to kill him, but wanted to capture him to obtain information from ancient times. Ancient information was clearly very important to the saints. But Lin Moyu had a different idea. If such an existence could not be killed, it would be a great future threat. Lin Moyu held a piece of flesh in his hand, which came from the other shore realm beast. He knew he only had one chance. The battle became more intense, with the three saints using all their means, coordinating perfectly, giving the ancient invader no chance. After a period of strong aura, the ancient invader's aura finally began to weaken. The three saints were overjoyed and intensified their attacks. The ancient invader tried to break through several times but failed each time. The killing saint firmly restrained him, and the heavenly saint's golden rules ignited a golden sea of fire, trapping him like a cage. The ancient invader's aura weakened, and the situation became increasingly favorable for the three saints.
You underestimated me.
The ancient invader snorted coldly, and a blood-red pill appeared in his hand. After hesitating for half a second, the ancient invader swallowed the pill. In an instant, his blood and energy surged, and blood-red energy shot into the sky. His power became even stronger than before.
He wants to escape. Stop him. Old Shah, do it.
The heavenly saint and the house saint shouted in unison. The killing saint laughed.
I've been ready for this. Want to escape? No way. Shadow prison.
The sound of the heavens echoed, and the starry sky within 100,000 miles instantly solidified. Space, laws, rules, everything was solidified at this moment. The ancient invader's movements slowed down instantly. Shadows appeared in the starry sky, gray and very peculiar. One of the huge shadows came from the ancient invader. The killing saint stepped on the ancient invader's shadow and drew a prison around it. The shadow was stepped on by the killing saint, making the ancient invader's body stiff and unable to move. As the prison was drawn, the control became even more severe. The shadow rules directly controlled the shadow. At this moment, the heavenly saint threw out a large net, a golden net, also a treasure of the other shore realm. The net expanded instantly, large enough to cover stars, and fell on the ancient invader.
Virtual realm, open.
The house saint once again tried to drag the ancient invader into the virtual realm. With three-pronged attacks, the ancient invader had no chance. In the blink of an eye, the ancient invader was firmly controlled. Lin Moyu, using the undead vision, noticed something wrong. After swallowing the pill, the ancient invader's aura seemed to surge, but his combat power did not actually increase. The pill seemed to be a temporary power-boosting pill with significant side effects. Otherwise, he wouldn't have hesitated before swallowing it. But now it seemed that wasn't the case. In the undead vision, countless bloodlines suddenly rose in his soul. The originally broken soul seemed to heal at this moment. Then the entire soul flame turned blood red. The undead vision could only see gray, but through the depth of the gray, Lin Moyu concluded that his entire soul world had turned blood red. The ancient invader's eyes turned red.
Humph, you are quite good, but saints are still saints, far from being truly powerful. You have no idea what true power is. After devouring you, I will destroy this world. Dark Blood Realm, open.
In an instant, countless dark forces surged from all directions like a tidal wave. Blood-red light blossomed from the ancient invader, forming a blood-red world. The starry sky was shrouded in blood red, forming a large sphere with a diameter of over 1,000,000 kilometers. Outside was thick dark power, and inside was a mix of dark and blood-red forces. The golden light of the golden rules was covered, and the shadows disappeared. The killing saint shouted.
He broke free from the prison.
Then a rumbling sound echoed, and blood-red sword energy flew everywhere. The heavenly saint also shouted.
He broke through the golden net.
In the dark blood realm, everything was blood red, and nothing could be seen. The three saints immediately retreated, trying to leave this world. But they found that the world was already sealed, and the dark power at the edge blocked them. The House Saint activated an ancient talisman, trying to break the Dark Blood Realm. The Dark Blood Realm shook violently but did not break. The three saints gathered together, and the Heavenly Saint set up defenses, raising several shields to guard against any possible attacks. Lin Moyu, using the undead vision, closely watched the battlefield. After activating the Dark Blood Realm, the ancient invader's soul world became empty, and his soul was more broken than before.
He still wants to escape.
The ancient invader had no intention of attacking the saints. He was bluffing. His real goal was to escape. He was hard to kill, and so were the saints. So this choice seemed right. Suddenly, the ancient invader's soul flame rapidly enlarged in the vision.
He's coming for me.
Lin Moyu was also in the Dark Blood Realm. Normally, he wouldn't see anything, but with the undead vision, he could see the invader's soul. Seeing the ancient invader rushing towards him, Lin Moyu knew he wanted to kill him before escaping. After all, he was just a god king, pathetically weak. But this was exactly what Lin Moyu wanted. The myriad-colored water flew out, hundreds of drops at once. All the belief power accumulated over these days was also used, leaving none behind. Stellar level spell. Corpse explosion. 1756 1756. Chapter 1756. Dead people are more reliable than living ones. The ancient invader was very strong, surpassing the saints. If only one saint had come this time, the outcome would have been as the ancient invader had planned. The saint would have been devoured, and their flesh and blood would have become nourishment for his recovery. But now, facing three saints, the ancient invader could only flee. However, he did not intend to leave without killing someone as insignificant as Lin Moyu. The myriad-colored water emitted various colors, becoming the only bright spot in the blood-red world. The blood-red world could not suppress the brilliance of the myriad-colored water. 100 drops of myriad-colored water turned into bubbles, and at the same time, Lin Moyu's remaining belief power was also exhausted. The ancient invader saw this insignificant god king raise his finger and point at him.
He can see me?
This was his last thought. Boom! A violent explosion rushed into his head, shaking his soul. The soul world shattered in the explosion, and his soul was washed by terrifying energy. His thoughts stopped at this moment, falling into eternal darkness. In the violent roar, the dark blood realm shattered. Lin Moyu regained his vision and saw the situation in front of him. A corpse, blown to pieces, floated quietly in front of him. The ancient invader was blown to death. 100 drops of myriad-colored water, combined with belief power, and the explosion of the other shore realm beast's corpse. Lin Moyu didn't know how many times the power was amplified, but this strike's power definitely exceeded that of a saint. If the ancient invader had chosen another direction to escape, Lin Moyu might not have been able to do anything to him. But he chose to escape towards Lin Moyu, which could only be said to be his destined calamity. From ancient times to now, he had been lingering on, but before he could recover his former glory, he died at Lin Moyu's hands. What a pitiful end. The three saints appeared in front of Lin Moyu simultaneously. The killing saint exclaimed,
"He's dead?"
Lin Moyu nodded slightly, as it was obvious. The killing saint shouted again,
"You killed him?"
Lin Moyu nodded again, as it was also obvious. The killing saint wanted to say more, but the house saint interrupted him.
"Lin, did you detonate the other shore realm beast's corpse?"
Among the three, only the house saint knew some of Lin Moyu's spells. He knew that Lin Moyu had a spell that ignored the gap in realms, and the stronger the corpse, the greater the power. Using the other shore realm beast's corpse, combined with 100 drops of myriad-colored water and belief power, it was indeed possible to kill the ancient invader. But thinking about it, it still seemed a bit insufficient. But the fact was right in front of them, so they had to believe it. The house saint didn't know that Lin Moyu's talent could amplify spells. A 400-fold amplification might not be as good as the myriad-colored water, but it wasn't far off. This kind of amplification, the stronger the corpse, the more terrifying the amplification. So under these conditions, killing the already severely injured ancient invader was not impossible. The killing saint said,
"What are you guys talking about?"
Lin Moyu explained his spell, and the killing saint's eyes widened, showing an exaggerated expression.
"You mean, if you have a saint's corpse, you can kill me in an instant?"
Lin Moyu didn't answer directly, but the answer was clear. Yes, he could. The killing saint muttered in shock.
"Such a perverse spell exists."
The heavenly saint was also shocked by Lin Moyu's spell, but he wasn't as exaggerated as the killing saint. He looked at the ancient invader's corpse and sighed.
"What a pity, we wanted to get some ancient information from him."
Lin Moyu had already guessed the saint's thoughts and said,
"Actually, it's better that he's dead. If he were alive, there might be trouble, and dead people don't lie."
Dead people don't lie? That sounded strange. The killing saint didn't understand.
"Isn't it that dead people don't talk?"
He was straightforward and asked directly when he didn't understand. The house saint chuckled.
"Lin has another spell that can revive the dead and turn them into his subordinates. Then he can ask whatever he wants."
The killing saint's shock reappeared, even more exaggerated than before.
"Really? Such a spell exists?"
Lin Moyu nodded.
"It's not a complete revival, but a different form of revival with a time limit. Once the time is up, they will die again. And with my current ability, I can't revive him. He would break free from my control."
The house saint asked,
"Lin, at what realm do you think you can fully control him?"
Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
"At least when I reach the other shore realm, and to be safe, it's best to wait until I reach the saint realm."
The experience in the Tulu realm was still fresh in his memory. The revived beings were not under his control at all. Those beings were all at the other shore realm. Lin Moyu felt that when he reached the God-sovereign realm, he would be able to control the other shore realm beings. In other words, the revival spell could control beings one realm higher than himself. So when he reached the other shore realm, he could control supremes. Saints also belonged to the other shore realm, just with a different name under the same major realm. But to be safe, it was better to wait until he reached the saint realm. After all, there was only one chance, and the opponent came from the Black Blood Great Realm. It was uncertain whether his spell could revive him. Based on the experience in the Tulu realm, it should be possible. The house saint looked at Lin Moyu.
"We are all waiting for the day you become a saint."
When Lin Moyu becomes a saint, perhaps the mysteries of ancient times can be unraveled. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
"I will work hard. I also want to know what happened in ancient times."
The house saint waved his hand and collected the ancient invader's corpse, but did not take the long sword left behind. He looked at Lin Moyu.
"If I remember correctly, you need a good sword."
Lin Moyu smiled.
"Yes. Then take this one. Let the heavenly saint modify it for you."
The house saint decided for the heavenly saint. The heavenly saint had no objections. He touched the long sword. The long sword hummed softly, gradually covered with a layer of golden light. 10 minutes later, the originally dark red long sword turned into a golden sword. It looked very flashy, like something a nouveau riche would use. The heavenly saint said,
"This sword comes from the Black Blood Great Realm and contains a trace of its power, which is useless to us. But it is extremely sturdy. Even we find it hard to destroy. I have infused it with the golden rules and sealed the power of the Black Blood Great Realm. Its grade is about high-level God Sovereign, but its sturdiness far exceeds that. When you use it, you can also unleash a trace of the golden rules power. This sword can be used for both offense and defense, making it quite good."
Lin Moyu was delighted. A high-level God sovereign treasure. Being able to wield the golden rules, it was strong in both offense and defense. More importantly, it was sturdy enough so he wouldn't have to borrow swords from the skeleton god general every time. Taking his subordinate's sword too many times was a bit embarrassing. Wasn't it? Lin Moyu smiled.
"Thank you, Saint."
The heavenly saint waved his hand.
"Compared to what you've done, this is nothing."
Just the ancient well of ancestral water Lin Moyu gave was of immeasurable value. Giving a sword was nothing in comparison. The house saint said,
If you have any other requests, feel free to ask. We will try to fulfill them.
Lin Moyu looked at the killing saint.
Could you please take me to the Vermilion Bird battlefield? I need to find Senior Zhu Qiwu.
1757, 1757.